Hello and welcome. Look at this glass of water. It's clear, it's what you expect. It's like your immigration status, your eVisa status. It's meant to be clear, unambiguous, and always there for you. But what happens when you go to take a drink? You discover the water has changed. Suddenly, it's cloudy. It's not what you expected. You are left wondering what happened? Where did the clarity go? This is exactly what thousands of people are experiencing with their settled status under the EU settlement scheme. We are talking about a glitch, a major software error that is overnight downgrading people's settled statuses back to pre-settled status. And this isn't just a small issue. It's an alarming, potentially life-altering problem that is causing immense stress. Today, we are going to break down what's happening, why it's so dangerous, and what questions we as a community need to be asking to the Home Office. Before I begin, if you wish to receive regular updates about UK immigration rules, hit the link in the description below, join our mailing list for free. You will receive regular document checklists, the latest UK immigration updates, exclusive free advice sessions, usually by emails, detailed eligibility requirements, helpful tips for successful applications, etc. etc. Also, if you have specific questions about your specific situation, please remember this video is just general guidance. It's vital to seek specialist advice tailored to your situation. Book your proven consultation and advice session. Link will be down in the description and over here in the card. So let's talk of settled status and ILR. To understand this, we need to first understand the difference. On one hand, we have settled status, also called as ILR, indefinite leave to remain. This essentially is indefinite leave to remain. It means you have a permanent right to live, work, and study in the UK. There's no time limit. It is the goal for many of you. Now, pre-settled status or LLR, limited leave to remain. On the other hand, we have pre-settled status. This is also called as limited leave to remain, LLR. It's a temporary status. It has an end date. It's the first step for many with the goal of eventually moving to settled status. Think of this container of beads as the Home Office computer system. Each orange bead represents a person's immigration status. Now imagine that few years ago, the Home Office ran an algorithm to grant extension to people who had pre-settled status. A little while later, we heard some reports that a few people's settled status got mistakenly downgraded during this process. It was a small bug. But in July this year, July 2025, the same algorithm was run again, and this time it wasn't a few people. We have seen a much larger number of reports of this happening. It's as if the system started taking the red beads. So these are the settled status beads, the red beads, and replacing them with the blue beads, that is the pre-settled status. If you're getting value in this video, please give a like, subscribe to the channel for more videos on UK visas. So the system has replaced the settled status beads, the orange beads, they just taken it out and replaced it with the pre-settled status, the blue beads. Suddenly, their status is no longer what it's supposed to be. The clear water, the clear expectation is now cloudy with doubt. This isn't a theory. This is happening to real people. I have been given access to a letter sent by two major organizations, the ILPA, Immigration Lawyers Practitioners Association, and the 3 million, to the government, to the UK government. In this letter, they share several anonymous accounts from people who are impacted. One person, an EU citizen, received an email from the Home Office saying that they would consider if he was eligible for settled status, even though he had been granted the settled status months before. He already had settled status, still he got an email saying we may upgrade it to settled status. He checked his online account and found his settled status had been switched back from the settled status to the pre-settled status, from the orange bead to the blue bead. Another person, after being granted settled status in February, received an email out of the blue about their settled status being considered again. When they checked their account, it had reverted to pre-settled status. This person was told by the resolution center, there is an EUSS resolution center, that their account was given an automatic extension twice. Extension is of a pre-settled status, remember. And the second one had overridden their settled status, they overridden the orange bead with the blue bead, with the pre-settled status, a lesser status. This is a serious problem. And it's a big deal because of one simple fact. The eVisa is your only proof of status. So eVisa is the only proof of status that you have. Only proof, nothing else. You cannot prove it any other way. You can have the physical letter from Home Office saying that you have been granted settled status. But in that letter, if you read it carefully, itself tells you that it is not proof. It says it is not proof of your status and it cannot be used to prove immigration status to others. It directs you to the online service. So when the digital status changes, when the beads in the glass change color, your proof of status vanishes. The Home Office's own slogan is that digital status cannot be lost, stolen, or tampered with. How do you think someone feels when their status is tampered with by the very system that's supposed to protect it? The anxiety and insecurity are immense, and the consequences are very real. This problem impacts people all over the world who came to the UK under the EU settlement scheme. Statistics show us that in 2023, the largest number of applications from the EU settlement scheme were from Poland, Romania, and Italy. But this issue affects anyone who applied regardless of their nationality. And the impact goes beyond, far and beyond, just an incorrect display. A bank may see your status and offer you less favorable terms for a mortgage or a loan. An employer might be hesitant to offer you a permanent contract. And if you need to apply for welfare benefits, you will have to pass an additional test that wouldn't be required if you had settled status. For people who want to apply for British naturalization, you need to prove you have settled status for a year. This glitch could delay that process for an unknown amount of time. This isn't just a computer bug. It's a barrier to building a stable life in the UK. The letter I have here asks some very specific important questions, and I want to raise these with you, my audience, so we can collectively demand answers. Question number 1. What was the exact cause of the software error? 2. Was the software different from previous versions, and was it properly tested before it went live? Question number 3. How many people were actually impacted by this? The Home Office has refused to disclose how many errors have been reported. This lack of transparency is a massive problem, and it makes it impossible to know the true scale of the issue. Question number 4. Has the Home Office contacted each individual who was impacted? Or are they putting the responsibility on individuals to discover the error themselves and then report it to the EUSS Resolution Center, EU Settlement Scheme Resolution Center? The stories we've heard suggest that people only find out when they try to prove their status for a job or a mortgage. They don't check their eVisa every day. This means there could be thousands of people right now who don't even know their status has been downgraded from settled status to pre-settled status, from the orange bead to the blue bead. Question number 5. And finally, who has the authority to change an individual's immigration status? Is it Home Office caseworker or is it a contracted third party? What level of seniority is required and what logs are kept of these changes? This is about accountability. It's about knowing who is responsible for what is happening and how it can be fixed. The Home Office needs to be transparent and they need to fix this problem not just for those who have reported it, but for every single person who has been affected, whether they know it or not. If you have been impacted by this issue, please let us know in the comments below. Sharing your stories anonymously, as these examples did, helps us highlight the human cost of these technical errors, system errors. It's crucial that we stand together and ask for the transparency and accountability that every single person living in the UK deserves. Now that you have understood the downgrade of settled status to pre-settled status, of ILR to LLR, indefinite leave to limited leave to remain. If you wish to know more about the collapse of the UK sponsor license system for skilled worker visas, watch this video here. It goes into the details about all the changes that have happened and how it is leading to a whole collapse of the whole system. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe so we can keep this conversation going. And thank you for watching.